Welcome to our evening meditation in the fourth week of Advent and the last one of 2024. And continuing with a series that came about through reading a book by Rowan Williams on what he calls the passions, which we might sometimes think of as being similar to the seven deadly sins. And last week we looked at anger, and this week, no coincidence or a complete coincidence with us coming up to Christmas, but gluttony. Interesting that gluttony stemmed in the early writers, the early Christian writers, from the idea that Adam's fall, Adam's sin, was to do with gluttony. A universal failing, perhaps, though, going for what you need, or going for what you want, I should say, going for what you want, chasing what you want rather than what you need. So that's a theme that will recur, thinking about what do I want and what do I actually need. Another tradition puts Adam's situation, or contrasts Adam's taking of the fruit against that of Jesus in the wilderness, where Jesus said, man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. In other words, Jesus demonstrated dependence. He knew he was dependent on God, whereas Adam, representing humankind, we might think of as trying to be independent, like pride, rebelling against the idea of being dependent. And so with that background to tonight's meditation, let's go through our own usual routine of adjusting where we're sitting, being comfortable but connected. Alert and aware. Just noticing our position, noticing where we're sitting, and either gently closing the eyes or lowering the gaze, or using the image of the four candles representing hope, peace, joy, and love. And consciously take 2 deep breaths in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. And bring your attention, bring your awareness to that breath. I'm noticing the filling of my chest cavity. Focusing my attention there on the in-breath. And then with the out-breath, I'm conscious of it relaxing. You might be noticing the movement of the air. Breath in and out. You might notice the sound that the breath makes. One sound coming in through the nose, and then another sound as you breathe out through the mouth. Allow that conscious awareness of the deeper breathing take you to greater relaxation. helping us to slow down. Now, if you can, after the in-breath, hold your breath for a count of 5. And then slowly breathe out. And repeat that. Maybe holding for 7 if you can. Imagine this deeper breathing almost being a cleansing process. Imagine as you breathe out that flowing out are any tensions, any anxieties. Flowing out with the out breath. Allowing the mind to be calm, allowing the body to relax. And in this calm, relaxed place of peacefulness, just 1 or 2 thoughts on that idea, that passion of gluttony, which, as I was reading about this, came across some more recent research about psychological types. There's a device called the Enneagram, which puts people into 9 different categories. And type 7 are those people whose basic need is to be happy. And for them, their hurdle, their possible, the thing that trips them up is gluttony, because they always want more. And although they know deep down that their fulfillment involves service to the world, they often distract themselves by trying not to miss out on anything. They fill their life with not just pleasure, but certainly company and laughter, and they are good company to be with, but they can be disconnected from God's guidance. All these ego patterns and these passions that we talk about can be addictive. The type 7 thinks that the more they do, it seems that the more they do, the more they fall into the grip of this gluttony, which isn't just about food, but anything that brings pleasure or enjoyment or stimulation. But the more they seek their fulfillment there, the further away from the divine presence they find themselves. The ego is desperately trying to find fulfillment and satisfaction, but trying to get the experiences that they think will fill them up and make them happy again. But it doesn't work. because it's not the content of experience that gives happiness, but the quality of the attention and presence that counts. Everything they need is right here, right now. So as we practice what could be an antidote to that, of being present, let's use the breath again. We breathe in the breath of God. And we breathe out our cares and concerns. We breathe in the love of God. And we breathe out our doubts and despairs. We breathe in the life of God. And we breathe out our fears and frustrations. We sit quietly before the one who gives life and love to all creation. We sit at peace, surrounded by the one who fills every fibre of our being. So what's the solution to avoiding being led into that, down that path of gluttony, of thinking of what we want rather than of what we need? And of course, modern advertising is attuned, is designed to encourage us so often to look for what we want rather than what we need. The writer of this piece says that we need to recognize that everything we are looking for is right here. As I open more into the divine presence, I'm moving into the unknown. And the strategy that I might have held since I was a child, I'm relinquishing. But if I can stay with that presence, there emerges a joyful gratitude. Rowan Williams, in his book, has been placing the different beatitudes alongside these passions. So alongside gluttony, he says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. If we can be concerned not only for our own well-being, but for the well-being and the just balance of the wider world, because we need the well-being and flourishing of our neighbours. When we live untouched and uncaring in the midst of poverty, disease, violence, we starve. A Russian writer says, bread for myself is material. Bread for my neighbour, that is spiritual. So what we need rather than what we want, being aware of the divine presence right here and right now, and accepting our dependence on God. If we can practice those, then we will be truly one of the blessed. As we reconnect with what we are as created lives, we can be healed. And so we'll go to our silence with another short breath prayer, and then music from from Tese. It's in Latin, Confitemini Domino, which means give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. So we'll play that as we use the breath prayer to take us to our silence. Breathe in the breath of God. Breathe out your tensions and turmoil. Breathe in the love of God. Breathe out your haste and hurry. Breathe in the life of God. Breathe out your work and worry. We sit quietly before the one who gives life and love to all creation. We sit at peace, surrounded by the one who fills every fibre of our being. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. Give thanks to the Lord, alleluia. So to our silence, either just using your breath, practicing becoming your own observer, or contemplating on those three aspects: what we need versus what we want, being present here and now to the divine, and acknowledging our dependence on God. So we come out of our silence. Give thanks to the Lord. Alleluia. Perhaps taking a deep breath as we bring our attention back into the room. Stretching gently, maybe opening our eyes. And some closing words, the O antiphons for Advent. O wisdom, Lord and ruler, root of Jesse, key of David, rising sun, King of the nations, Emmanuel, come, Lord Jesus.